Hi, my name is Vanessa Singh, and I'm going to be talking about the Grader Assignment for the Server-Side Language course in Full Sail University, which it was created with Python, Ruby, and Node.js. And starting with Python, the first thing that I have here is I'm asking the user what is their name, what is the assignment name, and what is the grade number. Then I have a class and the name grader, where I have a construction that is taking in the user's input. I have a variable named grade letter, which currently is assigned a value of NA, which stands for not applicable. Then I have a method named letter grade, where I have within the method I have a try and accept method, and the reason that I have it is because I have to parse in the user's input into an integer. And in Python, when using the int method, if the int method is unable to parse the string into an integer, it's gonna cause the app to crash. So I definitely don't want the app to crash. If the user types in random letters instead of numbers, I want the app to notify the user that their entry is invalid, it's not a number. So that with the help of try and accept, I'm able to do that. So if the int method is unable to parse the user's input, it's gonna output a message saying error, invalid grade number entered, unable to generate a letter grade. And if it is able to parse it, is then gonna proceed into the if and else statement. Depends on the user's input, is gonna assign a letter to the grade letter variable. Then outside of the class, I am instantiating, assigning the instance of the class grader into a variable g, and then I am using the g.letterGrade to call in the method within the class. And then after that is where I am printing the message saying, hi user, your grade letter for the name assignment is whatever letter it outputs. To show you here in the terminal, I'm going to call in Python grader. What is my name? Vanessa. What is the assignment name? Let's go list the assignment grader. And let's say just type some random letters for the grade number. To show you the error message is error, invalid grade number enter, unable to generate a letter grade. And then it still prints out the message because I don't have this print inside of it. If and else statement, I still wanted it to print that message to show the value of grade letter regardless if a random letters were keyed in or an actual number. So the message says, hi Vanessa, your grade letter for the grader assignment is not applicable, NA. Okay, and we're going to try that again. I'm going to clear this out here. And Python, grader.py, name Vanessa, grader, and let's say I did somewhat good. Let's say I got an 82 on this assignment. And there we go. It didn't generate the error message. It went through the if and else statement until it was able to find that and number 82 is between 80 and 89. So I assigned the letter B to the grade letter variable, and then it printed out the message, hi Vanessa, your grade letter for the grader assignment is B. Moving on to Ruby. A little bit similar, but some some slight differences. I'm also asking the users for their name of the assignment, and the grade number. I am getting the user's input and assigning it to the variable name, a sig, and grade string. Same as Python, I have a class, I have a construction which is obtaining the user's input, or is receiving the user's input, and I have the grade letter assigned to NA, not applicable. But Unlike Python, in Python, I was able to call in the value, obtain the value of the grade letter variable just by calling in the instance, the G that grade letter. But when I tried that with Ruby, the app actually crashed. So I did a little bit of research and I came to find that Ruby, similar like JavaScript, use getters and setter. So I created a getter for the grade letter variable. I didn't need a setter because I'm setting the value for that variable within the class inside of this letter grade method. If it was outside, let's say if I asked the user, hey, assign yourself a letter. So then I will call then from the outside G dot set grade letter equals whatever the user type in for the letter. But because that's not the case in here, then all I need is the getter. And within the method letter grade, similar like in Python, which in Python has the try and accept, and Ruby has the begin and rescue, where the method integer, if it's unable to parse the string to an integer, is gonna put in this error message. If it's able to parse it, then it's just gonna proceed into the if and else statements and assign the letter to that grade letter variable. And outside the class, I also have instantiated the class grader.new, passing in the user's input, assigning that instance to the variable G, and then I'm calling in the method, and lastly, I'll put in the message. So I'm gonna clear this out here. Ruby grader. Oops, I did type it wrong. I'm sorry. Make sure I have to type it right. There you go. Okay, my name is Vanessa. The assignment name, we're gonna leave it the same, grader, and then we're also gonna type a bunch of random letters, and there we go. Let me see if I can put this up a little bit more. Okay, error message, invalid grade number, enter, unable to generate a letter grade, and it still put the message here on the bottom. Hi Vanessa, your grade letter for the grader assignment is NA. And we're gonna try that again. Ruby grader, make sure I type it correctly. RB, name Vanessa. Okay, let's say I did pretty bad in this assignment. Let's say I got like a 64. And there we go. So 64 falls between 60 and 69. So it assigned the letter D to the grade letter variable and output the message, hi Vanessa, your grade letter for the grader assignment is D. I'm gonna clear that out. And we're gonna check out now Node or JavaScript. Okay, so in Nodejs, how it was informed in the instructive video, we have the read line that is gonna capture the user's input, and we have the questions here where I have the questions and then the functions, and then within the functions I have more questions and then another function, then more questions. I find this part quite funny. I don't know, it's just me. But then after asking all those questions, we are within that function, I'm instantiating the class new grader, and then I am calling the method and then console.log the message, similar as Python and Ruby. And the class was actually quite easy to create because after all this time, I'm quite familiar with JavaScript. It's pretty similar like previous courses that I have created, projects with JavaScript. I have a class, the constructor, I am receiving the user's input, assigning it to the grade variable. But unlike Python and Ruby, you see, I don't have the grade letter assigned to an A. And the reason is because we here within the method, letter grade method, I have is the parse in method, which is going to parse the user's input into an integer. And unlike Ruby and Python, where if the user typed in random letters, and when it comes to reading this line right here, the app crashed because it was unable to parse the user's input. But in here, it doesn't crash. It's just basically assigned it to undefined. And when it tries to go to if and else statement, and because is doesn't apply any of this right here, it goes to the else statement and is gonna cancel that error message. I'm gonna show you right here. I'm just leaving the same name assignment, and I'm just gonna type in some random letters, and there we go. It's just, it went to output or console.log the error message that I have right here. And then, because remember in here I called in the method, so after it console.log the error message, it went to this line right here, and it's still console.log the message, "Hi Vanessa, your grade letter for the grade assignment is undefined," because since I didn't assign grade letter at all up here, so grade letter doesn't have any value when it tries to right here, yes, when I try to read this variable right here, g.grade letter, it says there's no grade letter variable, so it's undefined. And for node, I had to remind myself that for node I had to control C. I can't just clear it. So clear, and then I'm gonna run it again. Let me increase this a little bit so I can see properly. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna leave it the same. Now let's say I did pretty good on this assignment, which I hope I do. Let's say I did a 94. Let's do that. Yeah. And there you go. "Hi Vanessa, your grade letter for the grade assignment is an A." Pretty simple, pretty easy. The only thing I could say that was slightly challenging was Ruby, but I'd have fun doing it. And that's all for my project. Thank you for watching.